NORA Heating Fuel Storage Tanks, Chapter 6, Filtration. The best way to ensure that clean fuel is delivered to the nozzle is by installing a quality filter on every oil burner. Fuel filters capture abrasive, blocking, corrosive, and biological contaminants that have the ability to cause a multitude of operational problems. Nozzle sizes keep getting smaller as equipment manufacturers continue to improve the efficiency of modern appliances. These smaller nozzles clog more easily than larger ones and therefore require better filter performance. Currently, filters fall into one of two broad categories: cartridge filters and spin-on filters. Several manufacturers are now supplying corrosion-resistant filter housings and canisters to address the issue of filter failure from rust. Installers should consider the benefits a corrosion-resistant material may provide. In addition to standard configurations, using two filters is now common. One way to utilize two filters is called split line filtration. The suction line is split into two separate lines, each with its own filter to double the filter capacity and allow fuel to flow even as the filter medium becomes clogged. The lines are rejoined after the filters before feeding into the burner. The second way is called dual inline filtration. Two filters are piped in a series, and the primary filter removes the bulk of the contaminants. The secondary filter removes contaminants that pass through the primary or flake off the fuel line between the filters. The secondary filter also removes yarn filter fibers that break off from the primary filter. Both filters should be changed at least annually, and NORA recommends both filters always be replaced at the same time. A variation of dual inline filtration is to install a sludge water isolator, SWI, before the filter. The SWI removes condensation, rust, bacteria, algae, and bottom sediment before it reaches the filter. These filters do not get replaced. A service technician simply removes a plug, opens a valve, and drains the unit until clean fuel passes through it. For inside tank installations, filters can be located at the tank, the burner, or at both. Traditionally, it was common to install the filter at the tank to clean the fuel before it got into the line. As more and more homeowners finished basements and boxed-in tanks, it became more common to install the filters at the burner. With dual filtration, some companies install the primary standard cartridge-type filter at the tank and the secondary spin-on type filter at the burner. For outside installations, a filter can be installed where the lines enter the building or at the burner. Whatever location works for your company and your customer is fine as long as you have a readily accessible filter in the suction line. It should be in an area where it's not likely to be damaged from exposed to freezing temperatures. Do not install filters outside unless there is no other choice. When replacing fuel filters, always follow the manufacturer's instructions. If the instructions are not available, NORA recommends the following procedures. For spin-on filters, first remove the old filter, remove the center O-ring and replace it with a new one. Remove the outside gasket, then apply a thin coat of petroleum jelly to both sides and carefully replace it. Fill the new cartridge with clean fuel and spin it onto the filter head and tighten it 3/4 of a turn past snug. And snug is approximately 3/4 of a turn after the gasket contacts the filter head. For cartridge-type filters, first remove the old cartridge, then remove the can gasket and the center bolt gasket, then thoroughly wipe out the can with a clean cloth. Inspect the can for corrosion and replace if necessary. Then install a new cartridge, a new can gasket, and a new gasket on the bolt.